So regulation sounds like it's a really good thing, isn't it? After all, we all want things that are better. But I think when we're thinking about better regulation, there are two questions we should ask ourselves. First of all, which regulations are we talking about? And secondly, better for whom? So better regulation is basically the system, the EU system for making and reviewing European laws. It's often branded as being about cutting red tape or getting rid of new rules or existing rules, which are just about needless paperwork. And that sounds good. But the very high risk is that better regulation is not just used to cut red tape, but it's used to stop or weaken rules that are about improving health, tackling environmental problems, or promoting social justice. And at Corporate Europe Observatory, we have focused on two elements of better regulation. The first one is the unaccountable and secretive board of European Commission advisors who can reject proposals for new rules before even elected MEPs have seen them. And the second one are impact assessments, the process for which can end up emphasising industry friendly arguments about the costs of implementing new rules and which can undermine the green or social benefits of regulation. We see better regulation being cited by all sorts of industries that we're concerned about: plastics, chemicals, energy, food, pharmaceuticals. And they use it to argue, for example, that this new rule or that new rule will cost it too much to implement, or it will be too bureaucratic and burdensome to implement, or that the lawmaking process must be slowed down as there needs to be more assessment about the business costs, even though actually introducing the regulation might be really urgent. So I think better regulation is a really good tool for industry lobbyists because it can really put a spanner in the works, as we would say, of regulation. And industry lobbies refer to it and use it all the time. And so it's something that we as civil society, academics, journalists, activists should, I think, be very wary of. The most important thing that we can do about better regulation is to be skeptical about industry claims around it. So when industry says a new rule will cost too much or hit its profits, we should question what is the cost to society or the environment for inaction, for not regulating. And when industry says that a new rule is too burdensome, we should ask about the burdens that those industries are instead placing on society. As Corporate Europe Observatory, we've tried to hold the Commission to account for its better regulation agenda. We've demanded less secrecy and more accountability about how these processes are being implemented. And we've had several helpful rulings from the EU's ethics watchdog, the European Ombudsman, on these areas. But I think there is much, much more to do to probe the corporate friendly nature of better regulation and how industry is using it to win specific lobby battles in Brussels. Nobody is asking for more bureaucracy for the sake of it, but too often better regulation is used as a deregulatory tool, and that should worry all of us.